Hey yo, what's cooking, good lookins? It's your boy here, and we are back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes. So we have this double special heroes banner today, and I'm sure y'all are gonna notice that a certain unit on here is sticking out like a sore thumb. And for some reason, they also happen to be on the very front of the banner, as if to say, hey guys, look at me, I'm Ninja Lin and I'm here, go ahead and pull for me. I don't know what Ninja Lin is doing on this banner. I really don't. I think it was supposed to be young Soren who was supposed to be on here. Maybe they thought they should save him for the next one and then have, like, the theme be young heroes and then have him and maybe Duo Ike or young Mia or whoever is going to be on the next one. So maybe they just threw Ninja Lin on here to fill space, or maybe they did it because there was a lack of 4-star heroes. I don't really know why she's here. If you guys have any ideas, feel free to leave them in the comments. But this is a very interesting banner because we only have one 4-star demote here, which typically we usually have 2 of them. And of course, this unit's here. So let's go ahead and talk about this banner. I'm going to give you guys my recommendations on whether or not you should summon on this banner or whether or not you should skip it. And I'm going to say right now, this is definitely a skip. I don't really see any reason why anyone should be summoning on this banner. So let's go ahead and explain why that is. First and foremost, we have the new Year Fafnir, and I would say he's probably one of the better units on here, for sure. I like using this guy in Aether Raid's offense because, of course, he defaults with Disarm Trap, which is quite helpful in there. He has also Attack and Speed Solo 4 and then Rouse Attack and Defense 4. His weapon is pretty solid, gives him Canto 2, Speed Up 3, and then also all stats of 5 and half of Null Follow-Up. He can also inflict Guard on the enemies, and he's got Dagger 7. So a very all-around good player phaser, more so for Aether Raid's offense than anything else, I would say. Running him in summoner duels can work, but he's not really up to snuff with some of the recent dagger cavalry units that we have. For instance, Yuri, I would say, who's technically not a cav, but he moves like he is just better than him because he's got easier access to lethality, and him being infantry makes it easy to get a whole bunch of ramp effects on him to get there. Also, we have the new Duo Nina from the Thief banner. She is just cracked beyond belief. So I would say this guy kind of fell off a little bit. He's also a colored dagger as well. He's red, which is not to his advantage because he has color disadvantage against blue, which Ascended Dune and Brave Hector are 2 of the more common far-save tanks. So, a little unfortunate for him, but he can still definitely have his uses, and that artwork is just as snazzy as ever. He's color sharing with the Winter Manuela, who is the second highest free-to-play. I shouldn't say free-to-play. It's a demote hero, right? So it still costs orbs to get them to plus 10. But it's going to be a much less investment to get her to plus 10, as well as Atlas to plus 10, than any of the other units. And they score in the 190 bin, which is really good. In fact, they actually score tie with Ninja Lin, if you can believe that. So, Winter Manuela is one of the best merge projects to go for if you care about scoring and things like that. As far as abilities go, you can see her stats right there. She's got 42 health, 51 attack with the weapon included, 42 speed, 38 defense, and 31 res. Not really any glaring weaknesses. She's got pretty solid speed for an armored unit. She has solid defense, and then res is workable. What you would want to do with her is give her the B skill from the Valentine Lucina. I think it's called Savvy Fighter. It gives you like a little bit of damage reduction, and then it gives you null follow-up, which is going to play up to her strengths with all the speed that she's got. Definitely want to give her a save skill as well, most likely near save, so she can go ahead and abuse that good defense more than the res. Her weapon is okay. If you wanted to use this as an inheritable weapon, it's not really the craziest, but basically it's just attack and defense up 5, and then Plegian attack and defense after that, I would say. Right, current penalty on each of those stats to herself. Not the enemy, right? Yeah, so it's basically penalties on herself. So she has Unity. It's attack and defense Unity built into a weapon. Not too shabby for a tanky unit. She also has Special Fighter Fodder if you wanted to go for that. That's not too common to see on a 4-star. Okay, moving on to blue, we have the Spring Delthea, Mr. Two-Page, or Mrs. Two-Page herself. So, look at this freaking weapon, man. This is a novel. It takes up nearly the whole damn screen. You think this is enough text, Insys? Like, seriously, you think you wrote enough words here? But basically, she's got -1 special trigger. She inflicts speed and res -6 on the nearest foes in 5 spaces. If a bonus or penalty is active on the foe, she does another speed and res -6. I have not read this in a long time, actually. Looking back at this. Yeah, following effects will occur based on the value of total bonuses. If greater than or equal to 6, neutralize effects that prevent her follow-up, so she gets no follow-up. If greater than or equal to 18, then foe can't counter. So she gets Wind Sweep, no follow-up, possibly speed and res -12 on the enemy, and -1 special trigger. That's all very good and dandy, but this unit just doesn't really have the firepower of some of the cavalry units we've seen lately. Like, Duo Nina just having adaptive damage, and then either her choice of Blade Tome or Broadleaf Fan is just wild beyond your craziest imaginations. Yuri's got lethality if you build up to it. What else do we have? We have the Blue Tome Lilina, who's just way better. So, yeah, unfortunately for Delthea, she kind of just got power crept. Not really power crept, but she's not really best in slot for Blue Tome Cav. She has good fodder, though. She has attack and speed catch 4. We got speed and res far trace, and then we got rouse attack and speed 4. All pretty good fodder skills, but again, this banner is kind of a skip. Alright, then we have Hatari Karla. Okay, there's quite a lot to say about this unit, because when she came out, she was actually really disgusting. Her weapon is one of the most cracked weapons ever, and it's very simple. She just has -1 special trigger. At the start of turn 1, she gets -2 cooldown count. She gets attack and speed up 6, and then she also deals true damage based on X% of her speed, where X is the value of your cooldown count on your special. So, while I was looking at her the first time, I couldn't really figure out what special you wanted to give her. Like, I was thinking maybe Luna or something like that to cut the foe's defense and then gain that speed-based true damage based on the special count. But it turns out her true damage effect will proc when you're using AoE specials as well. So the thing you want to do with her is give her like Blazing Wind, or even Growing can work on her for the bigger AoE, and then also her having the true damage on her weapon just allows her to deal a ton of damage to the enemies in a wider radius. So this is one of the few units where Growing specials I think can actually work out pretty well. The main issue that I have with her is mobility, right? So it's really tough to just get her into harm's way or get her into the fray and have her attack the enemies. She's most likely gonna pop whoever she hits, but you gotta be really strategic about how you're gonna get her in there. She does have Odd Tempest, but I don't really think Odd Tempest is good enough, especially not for summoner duels. So maybe if you gave her Assault Troop from that new Edelgard, that would probably give her the edge she needs that I think would really put her over the top. But other than that, there's not really much need to use this Karla anymore. We have a better can opener now in the form of the Brave Seliph that we got. So I would say not really too much value in this Karla. Special Spiral's great, but when you're using a unit that has Kanto like Seliph, you'd be free to give him like hit and run or something like that so he can abuse the Kanto even more. So unfortunately for this Karla, just like her color sharing partner, they just got power crept. Okay, then we have probably one of the better color sharing duos we've seen so far on any of these double special banners. So we have the duo Sonya, and then we have also Hatari Azura. So first up with this unit here, this unit I think was actually a little overrated when they came out. We saw them and we were like just fearing and running for the hills. But it's not quite the case. She has -1 special trigger. Just like Hatari Karla, she's got the -2 special trigger at the start of the turn. She also can jump to a space 2 spaces within an ally that's in 2 spaces. I hate the way they word that, but it's It's basically the Ash jump effect that she has on herself. So mobility is not an issue at all with this unit. They're also a flyer too, so they can fly over rivers and mountains and stuff. So a very agile and mobile unit here. And also when they initiate combat, or if they're in 2 spaces of an ally, they get attack up 4, speed up 6, and a bonus to their attack equal to the max special cooldown count value times 3 during combat. So when using this unit, you really want to prioritize using AoE specials. Big hitting ones like the blazing ones, I would say, are probably your best bet here. They have attack and speed unity, chill defense and res 2, and speed and res hold. Attack speed unity is really damn good fodder, but I wouldn't really recommend pulling this unit for fodder. It's definitely worthwhile having 1 copy of them, because their harmonic skill is quite good. They give -2 special cooldown count to allies from the same titles, and then attack up 6 and resonant blades. So can you guys think of any good awakening units that may have came out recently? Like maybe Brave Crom, maybe? Give him resonant blades and then attack up 6 and -2 cooldown. I think that could be pretty good. Make him even more solid of a Gale Force option, and just give him a whole bunch of stats while you're at it. So I think this unit is pretty solid. If anything, it's mainly for their harmonic skill, because it's really tough to come by cooldown reduction effects this powerful that also have such a wide target radius. Like most of the good cooldown reduction skills, I think probably the best one still to this day is Valoria, with her support effect with the allies to get -2 cooldown on herself and the ally. You don't really see that too often, especially not movement locked. Like we saw on Duo Alphonse, he is locked only to doing it for infantry types. So this one here doesn't really care what movement type you are. As long as you're from the same titles as these two, you're going to get that reduction. So a very strong duo skill, but other than that, they themselves, they can definitely hit pretty hard, but they kind of underperform from what I've seen in my own experience. Alright, and they are color sharing with Hatari Azura. Basically, this unit was on the Green Dream banner earlier this year. The one where we had quadruple color sharing on green. If you didn't manage to pull a copy of them or spark your copy of them there, then I don't really know what to tell you. Maybe go for a copy here, but there's not too much value in getting them to +10. This is the type of unit where you just get your 1 copy and dip. And as far as dancing is concerned, they're definitely up there. I don't know if I'd call them the best dancer in the game, but they're certainly vying for a top spot with other dancers such as, let's see here, Dorothea, the harmonic Dorothea's in there. The Fallen Ninian is definitely also in there. I love that Fallen Ninian so much. The ramping on the dance effect is so strong. So, I don't know if I'd say they're the best dancer, but they're really good. They have Grey Waves, which is just straight up the best dance ability in the game. And then their harmonic skill lets them grant a second action to allies from the same titles. It's a little bit limited, because I would have wished they chose to make Leanne from Radiant Dawn. She is playable in Radiant Dawn, but not in Path of Radiance. So, I'm not sure why they chose to count her as being from Path of Radiance here. But it is what it is. Radiant Dawn would have been so much better, because then you'd be able to catch all the Micaiah units in there. But it's fine, I guess. Having her from Fates, you can get all the ones from Azura's party. So you get the Duo Nina, who's crazy. You get Ninja Korin. You get the Bow... Well, I shouldn't say Bow Hinoka, but the Pirate Hinoka is another good target. So, definitely a worthwhile unit to pick up, but I think most people that wanted them already have them. And then finally on colorless, we have the Valentine Robin, and then we have Ninja Lyn for who knows why. I still couldn't tell you why she's on here. Is there really much to say about her? She's good. Her scoring has been crept to high hell. Like, she only scores as high as demote heroes now, such as Atlas and the Manuela. So, I don't really know if +10ing this unit is as good as it was before, but they still are pretty good for arena mode. Just having this duo skill grant a second action after they attack is really powerful. Any effect that lets you move again is really strong in a turn-based game like this. They have a brave attacking dagger there. It's not one of the strongest Brave weapons because it has true Brave attacking, so the might got gimped. But it is what it is. It still hits pretty hard. It's got -1 special trigger, and then them being flying is super good because you get access to a whole bunch of good skills you could give them, like reins, and I like to give them aerobatics so they can jump around. But this unit was free, so everyone that was playing the game during last year, I think it was, where we had the Hero Rises, they ended up winning. So everyone got a copy of them for free, and I don't really think you need to summon for any more. Definitely not worth going for the +10 anymore compared to some of the newer options. And then finally, this Robin here. This is a really good far save tank, honestly. I don't really have any complaints with her. So we take a look at her weapon. She's got -1 special trigger. Grants effects based on number of movement types on the current team. So it's like a tactic type of buff. They love doing this with the Robin units, just giving them tactic style effects, where movement type is going to be a factor in how you get your effects. If greater than or equal to 1, inflicts all or attack, defense, and res -5 on foes in 3 spaces during combat. That's really good because that's kind of like a support effect where your other units are going to be able to take advantage of that. It's almost like a triple hold skill where you're doing 3 stats to foes in 3 spaces. So pretty solid. Also, if greater than or equal to 2, reduce damage from foes' first attack by 30%. Any form of DR is always welcome. And then if greater than or equal to 3, grants when unit deals damage to foe during combat, restores 5 HP to unit, and allies in 3 spaces unit during combat. So, would have been really sick to combo that with the new ace skill we have on the Brave Tiki, but they just said armors can't have that skill, so a little unfortunate there. But this is definitely one of the better far save options you could go for. I don't know if I'd say she's the best. I still think we certainly have better far savers than her, but she can totally hold her own in there. And again, like I said, the support effect, the triple hold with her first passive effect there, I think is really good. So not too shabby. She has far save fodder, so at the very least, even if you pulled her and you didn't want to use her, that's still a good skill to pass out to your other units. Even follow-up, though, can't really say the same about that. So that's pretty much everything there is on the banner. Like I said, it's a skip. You don't need to be wasting your orbs on this, especially when we have a legendary banner coming up in just about a week from now. So I would say save your orbs for that. That's going to wrap us up for today's video, guys. So hope you enjoyed it. And this is your boy Tacho signing out. So take care, and I'll catch y'all again on the flip side.